that removes all the cover darkness to see everything, and then it is the essence of the milk, like the butter, right? So because you see that the ignorance and there are two obscurations. What are they?
Obscurations.
Huh?
Afflictive obscurations and knowledge obscurations.
Knowledge obscurations and
Afflictive.
so,
Objective.
objective,
Afflictive.
effective,
Afflictive.
effective. Okay, effective. Yes. So that is effective. You know, the delusions. That is called. Sometimes they translate as effective.
Afflictive.
He is effective.
Afflictive.
Not effective. No. Effective. No lah.
Not
Effective.
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 Afflictive.
Oh. What is affective?
Afflictive emotions.
Destroying.
Destroy.
To cause pain.
To cause pain. Okay. Huh? So many meanings. So anyway, affective. So destroying, causing pain. Yeah, it can apply. Yeah. Because mainly it is delusions, you know, the constructive, destructive emotions, the effective emotions. They are the one obscuration, right? So this is because the different translators they translate different way. They choose different words, you know. There's no specific translation in English yet. Might come in the future, who knows? Yeah. So there's obscuration. And then knowledge obscuration, that's right. That is okay. I can see from the Tibetan translation and the English translation. So anyway, the knowledge translation cannot be, the subtlest knowledge obscuration cannot be removed until you get enlightened. So enlightenment comes only from Bodhicitta. So that's what he meant here. You know, the Bodhicitta is the sun to remove the darkness. So what is the darkness? The ignorance. Ignorance of knowledge. And that knowledge is not only all the knowledge, but the subtlest knowledge. Because you see, you might have heard already in the past that the Bodhisattvas who are at the 10th level ground, they also, there are many things they don't know. You know, there are many things they don't. Only Buddha knows. So because he hasn't abandoned the subtlest knowledge obscuration, so that only can be removed by bodhicitta. Because ignorance, no, actually, the ignorance itself, the direct antidote towards ignorance is wisdom. But wisdom, with the support of bodhicitta, then they can destroy the subtlest knowledge obscuration. Without the support of bodhicitta, the wisdom cannot destroy the subtlest knowledge obscuration. So that's what he meant here. Because otherwise Bodhicitta is like a sun like a sun to see to get the knowledge how. Without Bodhicitta also ignorance can be removed. No? Because we discussed the other day three Buddhis, three enlightenments we discussed, remember? And the Arahats, Savaka, Pavaka, I don't know, Arahats, their liberation, they have abandoned ignorance from the root. There's no more ignorance. That is ignorance of realizing the ultimate truth. Ignorance of realizing the ultimate truth. That is removed. He has realized directly the ultimate truth. Otherwise he cannot be liberated. But still he has some ignorance. But that kind of ignorance cannot drag him to the samsara. So he is already liberated. But ignorance means some fault is there, So he is not a faultless person. So only Buddha is the faultless person. So for example, there are 4 ignorances. I don't remember all of them. Now, one thing is this: it is because of the distance they cannot see. The distance is that because the limit is the sky is the limit. So you can thousands, millions of kilometers they can see. Bodhisattvas, they can see through the clairvoyance, they can see. But still sky is the limit. There are something beyond there. So there are things that they can't reach there. So that's one. And then time, the past time, how many past? Thousands of millions of years past. Buddha can see. Thousands of millions of years ago you did it, that. At that time you acted in that way. And that's why you are now here, suffering or enjoying happiness, whatever. So that, but they cannot reach there because of the infinite, what was that? Infinity, yeah. Because of the infinity, they cannot see. They cannot see time and the distance. There are 4, true, I don't remember. Because I need supplement. Sorry, memory. So I don't remember. Anyway, there are 4 of them. So that is what he meant. Again I lost. So that is, and then you understand that about the butter, that is easy. The essence of milk is butter. Similarly, essence of the Dhamma is Bodhicitta. Because without Bodhicitta, you cannot be absolutely formless. You cannot be absolutely uncontaminated. Because partly you can be, but not absolutely, So that is what he meant, that you understand. I lost where I must go. This is no. So now 32. Okay. 32 is do and do possible lam jushi. They were object and double, give the way short to get near the same gender, simple 7 years. Okay, now we go to the translation. 30, what did you say? 32. For the caravan of humanity traveling the road of existence, hungry for the enjoyment of happiness, this is the feast of happiness offered as a refreshment to all beings who approach. For all those guests traveling on the path of conditioned existence, who wish to experience the bounties of happiness, this will satisfy them with joy and actually place them in supreme bliss. So, all the beings who are wishing for happiness, who want to enjoy the happiness, so, and this Bodhicitta can give them the supreme happiness, supreme bliss, that is Buddhahood, supreme bliss. So the Buddhist, they can offer the Bodhicitta, only Bodhicitta can offer the supreme supreme bliss to the beings who are wishing for enjoying happiness. Okay. 다기들은 조마 탐제 생각 도와 대시 생각 탐제 생각 도와 대시 니다니 바두데라 런도 베이싱이 하다 하면 나도 가와기 Today I summon the world to Buddhahood and to worldly happiness meanwhile. In the presence of all saviors, may God's Titans, who are the Titans, you know? Noah, and all rejoice. Titans, you know, anybody? I don't think. Titans, you don't know, we don't know, I don't know. Okay. So now today, in the presence of all protectors, I invite the world to be guests at a feast of temporary and ultimate delight. May gods, demigods, and all be joyful. Here is demigods. Huh? Gods, demigods, light. Yeah. So today, in front of all the Buddhas, I have invited all beings as my guests till they get enlightenment. So, of gods and demigods and the lower beings and lower beings, there's etc. etc. includes the demigod, the lower realms, animal realms, and God's realms, and so forth. So all of you should be happy. So that is why, because I have invited all of you for all of you to accept my service. 장주 세배 절반을 주고받은 장주지 생명 수가 제자와 누수마오. Now the fourth chapter. Now fourth chapter is, what is it? conscientiousness, right? Conscientiousness. Vigilance regarding the awakening mind. So, this conscientiousness, I don't know, the vigilance. So anyway, it means you should be aware, the awareness. Because you are now produced Bodhicitta mind within you. So you must be aware of that. And be aware of what you should do and what you shouldn't do. So that is it. He is going to discuss about what you should do, what you shouldn't do. Be aware of that as a Bodhisattva, as a person who has Bodhicitta. Vigilance regarding the awakening mind. The son of the conqueror who has adopted the awakening mind with great resolve in this way should ever tireless strive hard not to transgress the training. Having firmly seized the awakening mind in this way, conquerors' children must never waver. Always should they exert themselves to never stray from their practice. So, you have become the son of Buddha, right? So you must keep the Bodhicitta firmly and don't be distracted and be aware. That means be aware of that all the time, and don't break the rules of the training. Okay, so you must make effort not to break the rules of the training of Bodhicitta mind. That is what he says here. In the case of reckless actions or of deeds not well considered, although a promise may have been made, it is fit to reconsider whether I should do them or not. It is appropriate to reconsider whether or not one should carry out any rash undertaking or anything not thoroughly thought through, even if one has already promised to do it. So in ordinary activities, even if you have already made a promise that I will do it, but you must analyze properly whether really I should do it or I should go for it or not. And you better be careful, even with the worldly activities or ordinary activities. Sanjay namda te se shirap shirpyo kangta shita niji na tata tena shudu jishi yus. But why hang back from what has been thought through by the Buddhas and their sons, who are great in wisdom, and by me too, as far as I'm able. I'm able, right? I'm able. But how can I ever withdraw from what has been examined by the great wisdom of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas, and even many times by me myself. So you shouldn't let this mind, buddhi mind, you shouldn't let this buddhi mind go. You must keep it with you. Because Buddhas and Bodhisattvas also they have analyzed, they have checked, and they found that this attitude, the altruistic attitude, is really an object of praise, and it has always good qualities, and it gives good results for not only for you, for all sentient beings. And you have also checked, because first chapter he talked about the good qualities of Bodhicitta, right? So you have heard that, you have checked that. So now you have already produced this Bodhicitta mind, Buddhi mind within you. So you shouldn't let it go at any cost. That is what he is telling here. Okay. Moreover, after making a promise of this kind, if I were not to fulfill it in practice and broke my word to all these beings, what would be my future birth? Now, what would be my future birth? If having made such a promise, I do not put it into action, then by deceiving every living being, what kind of rebirth shall I take? So you have now promised that I want to help all other sentient beings. I want to take them to the enlightenment. So you have promised that, and if you don't fulfill your promise, then you are deceiving all sentient beings. And if you deceive all sentient beings, then the karma would be that karma would be a huge karma, you know. So that my rebirth and what kind of future my future would be. That is really to wonder, to think. Okay. Ngô Phật Phép á, chúng sẽ là ý gì dính bắt xăm chén ấy, bởi vì dính bắt đi chén thì là ý ta cũng xuống mà. Sau đó ý gì dính thì thấm chén ấy, dù thì ý ta gì. Where is it now? Fifth part, okay. It is taught that a man who has only thought about giving in his mind but does not actually do so becomes a hungry ghost, even if the gift were only small. If it has been taught by the Buddha that those who do not give away the smallest thing which they once intended to give will take rebirth as hungry ghosts. So the many, you know, the hungry ghost, the realm of hungry ghost. Yeah, that is. There's no any other translation, you know, because ghosts in English is.
Still goes.
Ghost still goes. So, but ghost, they're meaning something strange meaning, you know. So actually, spirits, yeah. But anyway, the ghost realm is hunger ghost realm is beings who are mainly who are hungry, thirsty, never get food, never get drinks. Very difficult to find drinks. Very difficult to find food for years, hundreds of years. And sometimes after 500 years, if you get something small, a little one bite food, they cannot eat something. There are different types of some hungry the spirits they eat, then it cannot go through the throat, neck, throat. Cannot swallow, cannot swallow, cannot go. Yeah, and cannot go. And some, when they eat, they put in their mouth, it becomes fire and it burns all over. And their stomach is huge.
Indigestion.
What? Indigestion. Okay. Their stomach is very big, so they feel always hungry, but they cannot get food. That's the biggest problem that they have to suffer. So mainly those people who are greedy and who doesn't want to help others, very tight fist, that is the result. The hungry ghosts are the result of that kind of action, that kind of intention. So that is. There is a hungry ghost, right? So here he says, even you haven't promised directly, but you thought you had given a thought. Oh, he's a very poor man. I want to give this much, and later you change your mind, or you don't want to give. That also may take you to that realm. That was in Sutra, Buddha Sutra. So what you have done as a Bodhicitta, Bodhisattva, that is Lana maybe there was So what you have done is that you have promised to help all beings, to give all beings the enlightenment, the Buddhahood. So we are at the fifth, sixth. How much worse will it be for me, having proclaimed aloud the unsurpassed happiness with great. Unsurpassed happiness is the Buddhahood, enlightenment. Unsurpassed happiness with great enthusiasm. After breaking my word to the entire world, what would be my future birth? Sixth, then if I should deceive all beings after having sincerely invited them to the unsurpassable bliss, shall I take a happy rebirth? So that is talking about the action. Okay. Because so, seventh, only the omniscient one knows the inconceivable course of action which can still liberate people even when they have abandoned the awakening mind. 7. Only the omniscient can discern the manner of the action of those who give up the awakening mind but are freed. It is beyond the scope of ordinary thought. I don't know the story, but there's in Sutra there must be a story because the Shariputra might have abandoned Bodhicitta or so, but he still was liberated, you know. And Avalokiteshvara, you know, Avalokiteshvara, you know the story. Also, Avalokiteshvara became Bodhisattva. Yeah, Avalokiteshvara, Bodhisattva, and then he was helping sentient beings, and he was liberating hell beings to from the lower realm, taking them to higher realm, and then to get them to liberation. And that was also not one or two, it's limitless beings are being liberated. It's still helping, it's helping for many years, hundreds of thousands of years he has been doing that. And then after some time, so he thought now, huge, unthinkable amount I have taken them to liberation. And he checked to the universe, he looked at the universe, because he's a clear voice, you know, Bodhisattva, high level Bodhisattva. And then you might have heard that when he first time generated Bodhi mind, he made a promise. In fact, he's the Guru, Amitabha, and made a promise that he will never abandon this mind.